Okay. And welcome to Learning Engagement Through Virtual Tools team. Zuleika Zapatero is the lead moderator presenting the session, and her co-moderators, Gracia Maria Mendoza Chivinus, Mary Allegra, Miguel Carranza, Olenga Vicencio, Glenda Gallardo, and Marisa Huacha. Welcome, Learning Engagement Through Virtual Tools team. Are you ready to present?
Sanja. Yes, we are ready. Thank you, Sanja. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening. Today, the team Learning Engagement Through Virtual Tools have the pleasure to present this brief session, summarized session. Yes, I'm the lead moderator. It's my first year, my first experience, learning a lot. Mary Allegra from Venezuela, Glenda Gallardo from Peru, Miguel Carranza from El Salvador, Olenka Villavicencio from Peru, Gracia Maria Mendoza from Honduras, and Marisa Huacho from Peru. So we are from Latin America, representing teachers and supporting teachers in this session. We are very happy and excited of this project, and we plan to continue collaborating for the next years. Next one.
Next slide.
The agenda for this session, as it's very well short, we have an overview of our session, the backgrounds, participants, the weekly activities developed. We are going to showcase the outcomes, participants' voice, demonstration of learning products, what were the lessons learned and takeaways, what is the future of this session, questions and answers, and closing. Next one. Let's continue with Gracia Mendoza.
So a little bit about the background. This is the third iteration of our session with EVO. And while we kept some of the fundamental aspects of the session and those key things that really ground what our session is about, and the goal that we have is promoting learning engagement to the use of virtual apps and tools in the classroom, we wanted to make a different, when we were reflecting about revamping our session, we were reflecting about we need to differentiate between tools and apps. There are apps that we incorporate in the form of the work that we do, but there are also the AI tools that we have been recently adding to it. We also wanted to make sure that we were differentiating that virtual and in-person component and looking at the advantages and disadvantages, because there are spaces where teachers are still teaching or teach normally, regularly, virtually, but there are the places where the tools and apps support learning engagement in person. We also wanted to make sure that we were demonstrating more. While we have wonderful experts in our team, and the way that we have demonstrated the use of the tools has always been very good from the first time that we delivered the session. But we wanted to emphasize that demonstration piece because we feel that that supports our participants when they go to the application during weeks 2 and 3, and 3 and 4, and you're going to learn a little bit more when the team shares. And we wanted to emphasize that piece of collaboration and learning and sharing from each other. We always find it very enriching when participants share their own experiences from their own context. And in the next slide, you will see who our participants were. We had participants from all teaching levels, from 8 countries in the world. We have 77 people who enrolled and 15 who were active and 9 who completed their certificates. We had our live meetings, and we had good participation in the live meetings and very good conversation. So we feel very happy about our session this year, and we feel that it is growing and that it is becoming more enriched every time that we deliver this session. Now I'm going to pass it on to Miguel to tell us a little bit more about the engagement and the feedback that we received. Miguel?
Thank you. Thank you, Gracia. Pleasure for me to talk about the impact of our session. Well, participants appreciated the tools and apps that we recommended. They found them useful, they found them engaging, they found them appropriate for their context. And they also liked the organization of the course. They were active in the different activities and the different tasks. We also like the fact that they created this sense of community in the group. They were giving feedback, they were supporting each other, giving recommendations of their apps. So we had a very interesting environment. Participants found the activities enjoyable, and based on their comments, based on the feedback we got, we noticed that the session left a very positive impression on the participants. Next slide, please. Well, we started with the introductory week. Participants have a chance to introduce themselves. They get to know the moderators, and they get to interact with others, and they get familiar with the Canvas platform we use. And we had 5 tasks. One was a Scrabble doc that was placed in the Google Drive, and they had to arrange it and then put it together and comment on it. Later, they talk about the advantages and disadvantages of apps. They went to the forum. They also practice on Wakelet. Later, for task 2 and 3, 3 and 4, I mean, they practice, so they explore Wakelet, ChatGPT, and DFID for teachers, and they like the different apps. They provided positive feedback to these experiences. And in the last task 5, it's a portfolio, which was basically like the showcase activity for the whole session. Participants for each week, they would have to answer some questions, and they would go on Padlet to complete their answers. So it was very interesting group to work with, very nice group to work. Back to Glenda, who will continue with week 1.
Sure. Thank you, Miguel. Yes, so since this was an introductory week, we had like something very short and sweet. The introduction to Wakelet, we retook ChatGPT, which we had seen in the year before, and we explored it. And we didn't want to assume that teachers knew this because we had, teachers from different parts of the world. So believe it or not, some people still found this information new, and we also updated the exercises and the information. So they kept exploring ChatGPT, and then we introduced Wakelet and DFID. And within the achievements, we had the increased digital literacy through the exploration and application of 3 virtual tools, and then the strengthening of the critical analysis skills, and they evaluated the impact of virtual tools on educational practices. The third achievement was the enhanced collaborative communication through active engagement in online discussions and lots of knowledge sharing. And then, of course, as Miguel mentioned, they applied successfully and implemented and documented the use of these 3 virtual tools. And then by the end, they developed this personal teaching philosophy concerning the incorporation of virtual tools and the initiation of this portfolio, as you can see in this screenshot that later will be developed in the next weeks. Okay, so now it's week number 2. Let's go to the next slide. Thank you.
Well, for week number 2, we designed different activities for different tasks. And also we wanted to explore 4 new apps or tools with participants. The apps or tools were Poll Everywhere, Audio, Ideogram, and Pretty Polly. So the 4 tasks were different, but also meaningful. Because, for example, in task number 1, we want to review the list of virtual apps. We wanted to know what background information participants had about the use of specific tools or apps. Then for task number 2, they reflected on digital literacy. They had articles to read, and they have to share their reflections and knowledge about this, and also interact with other participants. Task number 3, they analyze lesson plans. The purpose is that they can use the lessons plans given to them, and then how to apply specific tools to those lessons, and also apply in their classrooms. And for task number 4, they continue working in the collaborative portfolio, which include different tasks of the different weeks activities that they did. And then later, we will have more information of that. And then, well, the specific objective for that week was that participants evaluated the apps that can be incorporated, apply in their teaching practice because we had participants from different countries. Then another of the activities we had was a collaborative Padlet in which they reflect, contribute with responses to guided questions. We provided 3 guided questions and then they responded to them and also interact with other participants. There we had examples of their participation. Participants share insights on using various apps and tools in their teaching context. The common themes and trends emerge from the shared experiences and also reflection on how their understanding of digital tools has improved, how they will be used and applied in the future in their classes. We have achievements during week number 2. Participants successfully experimented with and explored 4 new apps and tools, as I mentioned it, Poll Everywhere, Audio, Ideogram, and Pretty Poly. They demonstrated proficiency in using these tools by actively engaging in discussion and sharing practical examples and also sharing their experiences once they practice or use the apps, the tools. Foster a supportive environment where participants not only learn how to use the apps, but also gain confidence in integrating them in their classes, in their teaching practice. That's the key, to use and try and practice. Now let's continue with week number 3.
Okay, thank you very much, Lenkia. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, this is welcome to week number 3. So we have different specific objectives. The first one was reflected on virtual tools that suit their teaching contents and differentiated between apps and generative artificial intelligence tools that can be integrated into teaching their practice that they did very successfully. For that, we included 3 different tasks. Task number 1, we are going to explore and become familiar with a variety of virtual tools. The demonstration, we have 4 kind of demonstration, for example, Genially to create presentation, escape rooms, videos, and so on. Also, Genially included artificial intelligence and removed the background, some kind of background pictures. Okay, apart from Genially, we use other tool that is Copilot, okay, and they are going to explore how to create tests, how to create images, and so on. Apart from that, we use, could you please click Mapify, Gemini Mapify, when they, the participant create different mind maps, and they enjoyed a lot using Gemini. In Gemini, we included how to create very good prompts with specific examples, okay, when the participant can enjoy it a lot because they have a template to create different rubrics, lesson plans, and so on. I also incorporated different artificial tools such as Canva to create different presentation that the participants use that. Perplexity, that the most important is that they have the specific information and the resources then. Clothed, okay, that this is for something that want to explore more in details. Leonardo, artificial intelligence to create images, and they use this, and DALL-E, artificial intelligence to create images, and so on. So I am very proud that some participants not only created the material with the 4 different virtual apps that I showed in the workshop, but also the others, okay? In the task number 2, they chose one activity. Something that I really enjoyed about the task number 2 is that one created a mini lesson with a video, and they asked Gemini to create this lesson plan for a 15-year-old boy. So it was impressive. Some participants also used Perplexity in combination with Canva. So this demonstrates that the participants were very creative and they did their best. And in task number 3, they put the reflection and the positive and negative things. One participant said that when you don't have very good internet connections, it's a very good alternative to download the application. You can download everything using PDF and so on. For that reason, we have 3 different achievements. Okay, number 1 was a strategy tool selection and resource creation, as I told you before, because the majority have a confusion between virtual labs and what are generative artificial AI tools, so they know about that. With the task number 2, we demonstrate practical application and learning engagement analysis. Okay, they show a variety into the classroom, and also some participants who didn't apply into the classroom, they simulated with other colleagues. So this is something that we really enjoyed. And they documentary all the reaction that they have through a video clip as well. And in number 3, for the task number 3, we have an evaluative reflection and contextual tool assessment that they contributed with our collaborative portfolio by Padlet, and they evaluate how easy or difficult was it in their teaching contents. So we are very happy to use all of these tools, and the most important is that with update information, but also the participants were very enthusiastic to create powerful material for their classes. Thank you. Go to with number 4.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Well, it was a pleasure for me to be the moderator during week number 4 and see how engaged and open everybody was to explore the role of AI in education. So and all our participants were involved in 4 different tasks that you can see here. And if we go to the next slide, please. So we can say that together we took a deep dive into these AI tools that you can see here: EduAid, Amma, Quiz Wizard, Magic School. And yeah, we were exploring on them. We reflected on how they align into our unique teaching context. And it was inspiring to hear and see the thoughts of our participants on which tools, you know, they felt were the right fit for their classrooms and how they could enhance the participants' teaching practices. Okay, we also spent time differentiating, you know, among these tools and explore how these can be integrated in our lessons, for creating interactive activities to generating teaching materials and demonstrated such creativity and in leveraging, you know, these platforms. One of the highlights I could mention is that I love to see how everyone, each participant, put their learning into action. By the end of the session, participants created 3 different teacher resources using AI. So they chose from the 5 they were given. So they chose 3 of them, and they elaborated 3 different teaching resources using these AI tools. And not only that, I mean, they also share thoughts on ways to apply these resources in the classroom. So it was amazing to see how quickly participants adapted and embraced these new strategies. And then we had some discussions at the end about the current state of AI in education and its potential impact as well in their classrooms. So participants brought such critical thinking to the table and evaluated both the opportunities and also the challenges of using AI nowadays in our specific context. So I'm very proud of everything and that we achieved together. And not only the moderators, all the moderators, but what we achieved with the participants of that we had this year. And I can say that participants took big steps toward integrating AI into their teaching experiences in meaningful ways. And well, I cannot wait to see, I mean, how they continue using what they learned. Thank you very much. Week number 5.
Good morning, everyone. Well, here
I'm going to continue with week 5. Week 5 was our lock, and we were very happy to share this with all the participants. Okay, so here we have the objectives. Our 2 objectives, main objectives, were to highlight, the most important, to highlight the collaboration of all the participants. They had a Padlet where they had to share, and there were specific activities they chose and how to incorporate the tools that they were presented during all these weeks. Also, the second objective was to provide a set of recommendations to other teachers based on what it worked for them, because this was the idea, not try to use all these tools, but adapt the tools so then they can use it in their own contexts. And then also share this with other people, because we know we had participants from different parts of the world, and then they had different contexts. Now here we have the tasks that we had in this week were basically the first one for sharing and reflection. They had to answer these questions, discuss the challenges they faced trying to apply these new tools, and also recommendations they could give to others, to other teachers. In the second task, it was basically to share these insights and recommendations. And finally, they had to fill in the survey, because the survey is very important to us. It helps us to grow, it helps us improve, and we had very nice comments in the survey result that I'd like to share. So they said that it was the sessions were very useful, informative, dynamic, helpful for pedagogical practices, and that they would like to have more sessions and to join more sessions in general, not only ours, but from EVO, because they saw that it was very well organized. Then,
To interrupt, 4 minutes remaining. Thank you.
Then, basically finishing talking about the achievements, here you can see, they presented, as I said, in the Padlet, the results. And here you have some of the achievements. There was a tangible product. They could go to the Padlet and see and share their productions, the output. Now, the enriching learning environment with learning experiences from the materials, but also the adaptations they did, their personal work. And it was a great opportunity also to network with people from different contexts, as I said before. They learned from each other, and maybe also the challenges, and they could help each other with ideas to overcome them. So now we'll pass this to some highlights that Olenka is going to present. Okay. Only to tell you that this is our collaborative portfolio when the participant can share their different point of view. We have a Wavelet where they have all the information provided, tutorial, guideline, examples, and so on. And also that they really enjoy, because after every presentation, we have some gamification tools that the student participate at the same time. Thank you, Marisa.
Next one.
The next slide. Yeah. I think the next slide is the video.
The takeaways, I think.
No problem. But then while Marisa shares the slides again, the next slide is a video from one of our participants talking a little bit about how she engaged in the session. And so I don't know. Marisa.
It was Zuleika's next.
It was Zuleika. Okay.
Yeah,
We don't see the slides.
Well, the takeaways, the recordings of the live sessions we had were especially useful because we received some feedback and we can use in a positive way. So it was important. Also, we seek more ways for higher engagement. We're going to look for more ideas to catch the attention and keep motivated participants and to finish the course, and more collaborative activities beyond the portfolio, videos from applications or implementation of tools. So those are the main takeaways from the session. And well, Gracia presented this word cloud. Then for the future, we are going to revise our session and be prepared for 2026. revise our best practices in the use of apps and incorporate podcasts and videos, explore more AI tools, understand the trends about AI literacy, AI pedagogy, and how to include the apps and tools in the lessons at the moment of planning. And continue with advocacy, use the technology in the classroom through multiple pathways and support teachers, participants.
And now is the video. So just go ahead and click it, Marisa, so we can hear Susan and what she has to say about the session.
Hope this video is within 1 minute, right?
My name is Susan Huss-Letterman. I was so happy to participate in the LEVT EVO session. I am based in the US, but I often offer professional development virtually and in hybrid formats to English teachers in Latin America. So I was excited to take a course moderated by experts from several Latin American countries and to learn about and to try out tech resources, including AI platforms that they use in their educational contexts. I enjoyed starting my week with the Sunday Zoom sessions where the moderators showed participants how different tools could be used. My favorites were Diffit, EduAid, and Genially. All are tools that can help us tailor instruction to our students' interests and needs, and often such tools support learner autonomy. I also enjoyed learning how other participants around the world integrated technology into instruction. I highly recommend this session to English language educators so that together we can learn how to amplify our teaching skills.
Yeah, and I think that's it.
Congratulations. Okay, questions and answers, please.
Are there any questions? I can't see any questions in the chat. Only, again, a lot of congratulations and a lot of remarks about how useful and how interesting your session has been. Congratulations again, Learning Engagement Through Virtual Tools team. And I can see you have a great plan for continuing offering your session next year. Thank you for that. And thank you for sharing what it looks like to be a participant in your session. Very interesting, very useful, a lot of tools. Are people still joining us, Christine? That's great.
Yes, and I think it's for the next session in particular.
We have 3 minutes. If
Okay.
there aren't any more questions for this team, I think we could stop the
Start
recording.
setting up, yes,
Okay.
I will stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.